The fourth and final piece of Ritual Beast support we'll be talking about is Seirei Jutsukai Lara, Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. I specifically left this one for last because it is the one that brings it all together. So I will be cross-referencing the other 3 new cards that I've already made card reviews on. So if you haven't seen those, I suggest you have a look at those before coming back to this one here. This is the most complicated one that will require the most discussion. And this is, most importantly, the revolutionary card for Ritual Beast that changes the entire playstyle from a 2-card combo deck down to a 1-card combo deck. But before tackling all that heavy stuff, let's just have a look at like the artwork or something. Obviously a very a-traditional Ritual Beast getup. There's no greens to be seen apart from like a couple of leaves here and there. We also have this huge Evil Storm Kirkion wing here. That's obviously not part of a traditional Ritual Beast getup. Her greens are mostly replaced by these earthy colors like brown, as well as these like shamanistic vibes with these teeth. I wonder if these teeth belonged to anyone. I don't know, maybe Leo or whatever. All I know that it's very poorly positioned actually. It feels like if she just bends over, she's gonna stab herself in the liver with these teeth. What else to note? I guess this fire symbol right here signifies she's part of the Shinobi Guardian 12 or something. Yeah, I guess the last point to make is, if you look at Lara's forms chronologically from Lara to Otiapilio to Otigaiapilio, as time progresses, her boobs get progressively larger. These are the biggest I've ever seen them at, which means, chronologically, this is the newest form of Lara. Stats-wise, level 1, 100 attack, 2000 defense psychic. All of this is exactly the same as original Lara. The only difference we have is the light attribute. So I guess all that godly powers, she put it all into effect and put none of that onto stats, which is great because she has 3 amazing effects. Being light does mean we will not be able to summon, we will not be able to use like Wind the Wind Channeler anymore, since that would lock us out of light effects. But it's fine, like Lara is just simply a much better consistency booster, a much better power booster, a much better like everything card than Wind the Wind Channeler. Lara does have the traditional Ritual Beast summoning the restriction, which is that you can only special summon 1 of her per turn. But her name being both spiritual as well as tamer does mean when you're tagging out, you can summon 2 Lara at the same time, provided you have like both of them banished. So same as Winder in terms of that. Although quite funnily, Konami, like around the same time they announced these cards, they actually broke this mechanic for Ritual Beast in Duel Links, their own game. So in Duel Links, you actually can't summon 2 Winder at the same time. I just thought it was pretty funny. Coincidence? Maybe. But yeah, there's a current imbalance between Spiritual Beasts and Tamers. There's 4 Spiritual Beasts, 5 Tamers, and 2 that counts as both. Obviously, for Spiritual Beast Tamers, you want to summon 2 of the same at the same time for maximum pluses. However, if you're substituting it for one or the other, it'll probably be most likely substituted for a Spiritual Beast, since not only due to the imbalance, but the Tamers usually special summon Spiritual Beasts as well, which creates an even larger imbalance between the 2. Now onto its effects. 3 really good effects. Like all 3 of them are really good. All 3 of them does also have a hard once per turn of them, but rightfully so because they're just, all that good. So we'll tackle it one at a time. Effect 1, you can discard this card immediately after this resolves. Normal summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your hand. I consider this a revolutionary effect. Playing into like a modern Yu-Gi-Oh board with just 1 normal summon, if it gets stopped, your turn just ends, that is really bad. This lets you at least have 2 plays per turn when playing into these huge boards or hand traps, which is still not ideal. That's still pretty bad actually, but it's so much, like infinitely better than only having 1 play, which is why I consider this a revolutionary effect. Effect 2, if a Ritual Beast cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard instead. Now, unfortunately, this does not include set cards, so Lightning Storm doesn't protect your set steeds and stuff, which is, it could be better, but don't get me wrong, this is still an amazing effect. Traditionally, Ritual Beasts have had a problem with removal. For example, you go out a Carnahawk effect, you try to go to full combo, your opponent hits you with a Ghost Ogre on the Carnahawk, and you can't put another Spiritual Beast on the board, your turn just ends. This does solve that problem. Although now, the deck being a 1-card combo deck instead of a 2-card combo deck, it does make it susceptible to the type of hand traps that usually the 2-card combo version would not care about, such as Ash or Imperm. The deck has more problems now than before, even though this does solve one of this deck's traditional problems. Now also, unlike a card like Zephyr Providence, this can be used the same turn and sent to the graveyard, so that's just much better. You can use it on turn 1, right? That has always been a problem I had with like card like Zephyr Providence. Also, the first effect does feed into the second effect. You know, the first effect discards into the graveyard, and now you just have protection against destruction. Yeah, the destruction by battle protection is also quite relevant because, like, battling the Ritual Beast has always been a way to bait out cards like Steeds. Yeah, that protection is very relevant as well. It's also a continuous effect. That means, say if you have a full board of Ritual Beast monsters and your opponent dark holes you, and you don't have Lara in grave or on field, you can still like chain an Itali, and then the Lara will protect your whole field. So yeah, quite good in that regards as well. But let's move on to effect 3, which is, if this card becomes banished, you can special summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your deck, except Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. Now, this is crazy. This is the revolutionary effect. Even though we already had a revolutionary effect in effect 1, this is like the revolutionary effect, alright? This is the effect that makes it a 1-card combo. Now, it does feed off effect 2 as well. So if you protect something with effect 2, this will trigger. But mainly, what I'm looking at when I see this effect is that Ritual Beast Carnahawk is now a 1-card combo. So if you normal summon Carnahawk effect to banish her from your deck, she can special summon, say for example, a Winder from your deck. You can Contact Fuse into Carnahawk, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, putting Winder into the graveyard, summoning back the Carnahawk and Lara. It also makes Rampingu into kind of a 1.5 card combo. You do need something more than just a Rampingu. So for example, Rampingu Dimension Fissure, Rampingu Dimension Shifter both makes Rampingu like a 1.5 card combo. Normal summon Rampingu, dumping her to the graveyard and dark holing yourself to banish her, makes Rampingu like a 1.5 card full combo as well. So yeah, huge consistency boost as well as huge power boost in this third effect here. Now, does this make Gold Sark worth playing? I still think Gold Sark is not worth playing. Also, it being an effect does mean it won't combo with Crossout Designator. If you banish her with Crossout Designator is going to negate her effect, which is unfortunate since Crossout Designator was like just a better gold sock in Ritual Beast before her. So that might not be the case now. So the second and third effect, when used together in conjunction with each other, does kind of make all of your Ritual Beasts float like a window. While we're on the topic of Winder, it's also worth noting that Winder can cheat out the new Link 4 Raritari. You can also cheat out, but if you cheat out the Link monsters, they can't be reborn. And the way I'm envisioning the deck, continuously reborning the Link monsters would be an integral part of why this deck would be good. So yeah, you probably don't want to cheat it out. Same thing goes with Bond. You can cheat out like Raritari with Bond as well. It does cost 3 cards to do. It's an option. I don't think Bond would be that good. I guess it does dodge cards that would disrupt you otherwise. A card that does have quite a lot of potential, I think, is Ritual Beast Return. Since this, depending on how many returns you run, it might be a bit bricky to run a lot. But this can keep bringing back... You can bring back Raritari, but I think it's better to bring back Confalcos, since Link 2 is just easier to link climb with than a Link 4. So each 2 Oticana Hawk searches will be... You can convert it into board presence in the form of Confalcos by searching return and another card. Of course, the other card is not like just used for cost for return. It's also simultaneously setting up your banish pile for even more Kana Hawk searches. But yeah, I'm thinking approximately plus 10 is the extent of the Ritual Beast turn. Since we get 4 normal summons now, each normal summon, if used on a Lara, is going to be a +1. Right, like a Lara, Zephyr Pelica, or Wen is going to be a +1. Unless you count Reborning Confalcos, a +2. Because for the sake of Link climbing, Confalcos is a +2 every time you reborn it. So 4 normal summons on 4, let's just say +1s, that's already a +4. Based on the amount of names you can tag in and out of Oticana Hawk, you can get 5 searches of Oticana Hawk, so that's +9. And since you have cards in your graveyard, you get a free Nochio Drago summon, so that's a +10. Yeah, it's basically what I'm getting at. Whether you use your 10 cards to make like generic Link monsters, or you consolidate 4 of them into an OT Guy Apelio, and then keeping a couple of searches in your hand for OT Apelio to OT Guy Apelio to negate stuff, whether you convert them into like a set Steeds and Ambush. We won't get into that now, but just from what I'm thinking right now, it does seem like the combo should end in a +10 or so. So that has been the card review. And yeah, like I said, these have been designed very well with fun in mind, very open-ended for deck builders. I'm looking forward to trying out this deck as a Link spamming deck with like dangers and stuff mixed in. Yeah, just very open-ended, not non-xenophobic cards. That's exactly what I like. So I look forward to actually getting these in the TCG. It's going to be a while since OCG doesn't even have it yet, but yeah, definitely quite hyped.